Hello, babes. Hello, hello. We are going live with our star student, Sunjam, today to talk to you about her incredible wins in the 3 months that she was with us in our Making Money Moves Method coaching program. I am going to bring her on here in just a second. As soon as I say this every time, I'm like, do I remember how to do this? Okay, Sunjam. Let me just look her up here. The button work. Okay, cool. Invited. There is a huge, rolling thunderstorm going on outside right now. I'm like, will I be able to concentrate? Sunshine, hi!
Hello, how are you?
I am great, honey. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. Okay, before we get into it, I just want to introduce you, talk a little bit about the program and that kind of thing, and then we will get into all of your incredible wins. I can't wait to share these with everybody because I think they're going to be so inspired. You just came into the program. You absolutely fucking killed it. And I love it so much. Okay, so for everybody watching, if you have been making good money with nothing to show for it, then you absolutely have to watch this live. I am joined by one of our star students, Sunjam, who was in over $10,000 of credit card debt with a limited mindset around money and personal finance before she came into our program. After our program, Sunjam is now debt-free, doubled her net worth, secured a $15,000 raise, and is on track to purchase a home in 2 years. 2 years. She's feeling confident with her money and her future and has the strategies to reach her goals faster than she ever thought possible. Okay, so before we get into the interview with Sunjam, I wanted to talk about one of the reasons why our students have such incredible success, not just while they're with us, but in the long term as well, and why our program helps them not only get a handle on their finances and helps them effortlessly change their future with money, but also helps them change their entire lives and their happiness, which is it's literally just the point of life, to be happy. Okay, so you'll see a lot of financial experts, they're going to tell you the solution to your money problems is to just create a budget. Just create a budget. As if it was that easy, right? If you could just write your expenses down on a piece of paper and then you would just get ahead. If that was the truth, then no one would be stuck. No one would be struggling with money, okay? Most of us on some level know what we're supposed to do, what we should be doing. We should save more. We should pay off our debt. We should stop spending on stuff that we don't actually even really like or need. But we're not doing it. Why? Because the results we get in life come from our actions, and our actions come from our feelings, and our feelings come from our thoughts and our beliefs. A budget is an action, and it's missing the core component that comes before, which is your thoughts and beliefs or your money mindset. This is the way that you think about money, what you think about what's possible for you with money, and what you think about just building wealth in general. Our money mindset includes the beliefs and rules that we have about money. And a lot of us unknowingly have limited beliefs, okay? AKA things that we believe that don't actually serve us, grow us, or make us happy, and they actually limit us or hold us back in some way. If we want a different result, then we have to take a different action. And while you may be able to will yourself into taking a different action in the short term, like by using a budget, right? The reality is that most people won't have long-term success, and studies show this, okay? Because their driver, the driver of everything, their thoughts, have remained the same. So examples of limiting beliefs are, I'm not good with money, or I have to work hard to make money. When you tell yourself that you are not good with money, even subconsciously, you will begin to act in ways that someone who isn't good with money would act, because it will feel normal to you and will be in alignment with who you think you are. When you tell yourself that you always have to work hard to make money, you'll avoid strategies like investing because it seems too easy. Okay, in both cases, your beliefs become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whatever you believe to be true will be true for you. Now, for a lot of people, this is the stem of why they're overspending and still living paycheck to paycheck, even though they're making good money. And this is the premise that I've built our all-new free training on, Kick Your Shopping Addiction Masterclass. So if you guys haven't signed up for that yet, make sure you go and grab your spot through our link in bio. It's going to be freaking life-changing. Okay, in our coaching programs where you work with myself and team directly, We teach you the million-dollar tactic, the ways to grow your money while you sleep, how to pay off your debt in less time, save hundreds of thousands of interest, how to negotiate a raise and negotiate your bills. But we also teach you how to address the muck beneath the surface, okay? The limiting beliefs, and show you how to hack your brain so that you can finally start saving money and getting ahead effortlessly. This can result in changes outside of your finances as well. Our students report feeling less stressed, having better relationships, sleeping better, and being able to hit their other life goals with ease because of the tools that they've learned in our program. And now this is what I say when this is what I mean when I say that money gets to be easy. So the Make Your Money Moves method is the program that Sunjam took. It's our signature program, and it's based on all of the things that I did to take myself from $40,000 in debt to becoming a millionaire at the age of 30. I was making good money at my corporate job. I was making about $50,000 a year, but I was still living paycheck to paycheck. I went from that, being in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, feeling stuck, to being able to pay off my loans in 18 months, saving my first 100K by 25, paying for my wedding in cash, buying my dream home, feeling financially stable enough for kids. That was the big one because I was like, I can't even take care of me. How can I take care of somebody else? Building a $500,000 net worth in my 20s and then growing that to become a millionaire at the age of 30. And now I am set to become work optional in my 30s, meaning I will not have to work for money again if I don't want to. And I did this all without a budget, without restriction, and without giving up what I loved. So in this program, we provide you with the proven process and scripts that have helped our students secure 10, 20, and even 30% raises, 8 modules of video money trainings to help you build a fat bank account with ease, homework modules that help you dig deep and implement what you've learned, support and coaching from myself and our team for 3 months to get personalized feedback on your money plan, monthly mindset masterminds with a licensed therapist, she's incredible, to help you overcome mindset hurdles, a private community for students only to ask questions in between calls and network with our other babes, the exact strategies to building a fat bank account that works harder than you do, and the step-by-step process to building out your dream life, okay? It's amazing, and this is the one that Sunjam came into and absolutely crushed it, okay? She completed it last month. You graduated last month?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. During her 3 months with us, she was able to achieve some incredible things. She paid off over $10,000 in credit card debt. She is now debt-free. She raised her credit score by 35 points and is pursuing purchasing a home. She's going to pay less on that interest rate too because her credit score is higher. I love this for her. She cut her monthly utility bill in half, saving an additional $261 per month by learning how to negotiate. Okay, we also teach this. She negotiated her salary by an additional $15,000. Amazing. Started her emergency fund, put enough away for 2 months and is working towards a 6-month fund. And she doubled her net worth by eliminating her credit card debt and putting away half of her salary towards savings and investments. I think it's so important for you guys to hear from our students so that you can see it is possible to change your situation. I know it's easy to think, well, this worked for Nicole, but she must be an anomaly. So what I hope you get out of this is that you see it doesn't matter where you're starting from, you can have success. And when you learn how money works, it gets to be easy and it gets to be effortless, and you get to have your dream life. Like, you are worthy. So Sunjam, thank you for staying with me through all of that. I'm so excited to have you here. Can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, all that fun stuff?
Yes, of course. And thank you so much for that amazing intro, Nicole. I hope I'm able to summarize everything I learned in this course. Just one short call, but I'll start with my background. So
I love it.
I was born and raised in India, and I came to New York when I was 17. I went to design school, loved it. I loved the city, and I graduated, got my job, and about $45,000 in salary. So it seemed like a lot of money at the time, you know, being a kid with like 4 roommates in a New York City Matchbox apartment. So I was happy. I was living the dream, pursuing my career, and just, you know, making enough money that was just okay for me. As time went by, with tough immigration laws and restrictions on international students, it was hard to pursue my dream, make a living, and stay in the country all at the same time, because you either pay for school and get another student visa, or you get kicked out. So I did what most international students do in my position, which is get another degree. So I got to stay in New York. I had to put my design journey on hold. And then I started applying for higher paying positions now that I have a master's. So I got the six-figure salary. I got the job. I said, okay, that's it. I've done it. I've reached that goal that most people talk about. And I had never seen that much money in my life, like someone being okay with $45,000 before tax. Now, six figures. I felt like I was rich. So the first 3 months, it was a lot of money. Without even trying, like my checking account had a couple $1,000s just sitting there. This was money that I was earning but not spending, but I was also not saving it or investing it, because in my head at the time, if you invest it, you lose it. Investing is just a scam, and it's for the Wall Street bros, and that's not where I belong, and I don't need to move my money anywhere. It's just sitting in my account. So a couple of months went by, and creep caught up to me. So at this point, I started fading my every week. I was waiting for when I was going to get my next check, because it just didn't seem like enough. All the couple $1,000s in my account just went away. They were just not there in my checking account anymore, and I wasn't sure where it was going. I had to pay for my nicer apartment, my organic groceries, my daily boba, and some random new subscriptions that I had. And at this point, I just started to become very indifferent to everything. I went into this like zombie mode where I went to work, I did my job, I got my paycheck, I bought things, I got these little amusements to keep me happy temporarily, but in the long run, I was starting to get really depressed. I stopped answering texts, I cut off friends without even realizing, and life just seemed so pointless. At this point, I was not pursuing any goals, any dreams, any creative projects. I was doing my conventional job that everyone tells you to do, make that money, and then wait for that paycheck so I can spend it on something to feel good temporarily. But it wasn't taking me anywhere. I realized that I couldn't ever leave corporate America because it supported my lifestyle. I needed a paycheck, and I started to feel so suffocated. Like I didn't have a choice if I wanted to leave. I couldn't go back to architecture or design if I ever wanted to. And I was just stuck. So that's kind of where I was, to sum it up in a short summary of my background.
Thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. I think it's so important to note, because there's so many people that think once you hit that six-figure salary that everything is just going to change for you and everything is going to become easier. And I think a lot of us don't realize that a couple of things. When you're making more money than you ever have before and you don't understand how money works, it's easy to think that you just have unlimited money, right? You're just like, holy shit, this is a lot of money. I can get everything. I can do everything. And it's not that I don't want people to do things that bring them joy. I want you to spend your money on things that are truly making you happy. But when we learn how money works, we can learn to prioritize our life goals as well as our happiness today. I don't think it needs to be one or the other. What a lot of people don't realize as well is that when they get that higher salary, sometimes it's coming along with a more stressful job, and they're just trading money stress for work stress. And then when you have work stress, if you haven't, changed your mindset or beliefs or worked through some of those things, that can, like, handling that stress can manifest itself in spending money, in impulse shopping, in buying shit to take your mind off of all of the stuff that's going on at work. If you think about it, how much money we spend to escape the feeling of being trapped in our 9 to 5 or having a really bad day at work. And it's like, dude, I just need, to grab a bottle of wine tonight and I need to sit by myself and just drink this wine. Or I can't cook when I go home. I'm so stressed out. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't have any time. I didn't have time to go grocery shopping. I need to order in. Or, just things like that, right? Where you're going or maybe you go and you go shopping and you buy yourself a new outfit to try to feel better because you just feel like shit because you were at work all day and everyone's, it's whatever. And you end up spending all of this money on things to treat this stress and anxiety from work, and you got this job to get more money to avoid the money stress and anxiety, and it just becomes this vicious cycle. And I think I'm seeing a lot of hearts and stuff there. I think a lot of people can relate to that and relate to how you're feeling. There's a quote from the book Your Money or Your Life, and it says, "We aren't making a living, we're making a dying." And I'm like it's kind of eye-opening. But I think even just the title of that book, if you take that premise here, it's like your money or your life, like what's more important to you. And we can get ourselves into a position where we think, okay, we just need to make more, we just need to make more, and then we just need to consume more, and we just need to consume more. But if what you're doing for work isn't making you happy, and you are trading your time for money, and now you're buying more and more things, so you have to work more and more to pay for those things, are you actually buying yourself happiness, or are you actually just buying yourself sadness? I'll give one really quick example and then we'll move on from this. But imagine, your goal is that you really wanted to buy a house. So you go to sleep every night, and I'm thinking of this because this was me for so long. You go to sleep every night, you're living in your crappy rental apartment, you got shit neighbors, and you're like, oh, I just want to own something for myself. I don't want to deal with my crappy landlord anymore. I don't want to deal with housing insecurity. I don't want to deal with this. I want to buy a house. And you're so sad, and you're going to bed at night every day, stressed, thinking about this all day. You're kind of feeling like shit. You go on Instagram after work and you're like, oh, Becca just bought a fucking house. Oh, this person's doing this. And you start to just feel worse and worse and worse. And you get this anxiety and you get this stress. And then you fill that anxiety and stress by going and spending money and eating out and buying things that you don't need, when the reality is you think, like I said, you think you're buying yourself happiness, but you're not working towards the goals that would truly bring you that happiness. So it's all about, again, a simple budget is not going to fix this. It's just going to restrict you. It's just going to show you in more ways how money is scarce, when the reality is money is abundant, and scarcity and a fixed mindset is not conducive to building wealth, and we know that. So if we can get to a place where we change the way we think about money, we're making $50,000 a year. It's not $50,000, it's 50,000 workers. And every dollar we spend, we want to find a way to derive the most happiness possible out of it. Again, it's not that I don't want people to spend money. I want people to spend all their money. I love it. But put your money in places where it's going to bring you the maximum happiness, while understanding what your total life goals and life plan looks like. A lot of us go through life pretending we're not going to be us in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and then the time passes and we get to that point and we're like, shit, if I had just done X, Y, and Z, I would be in such a better position right now. I would be so much happier. I wouldn't have to be stressed. I wouldn't have to be struggling. And I think, everything in life is going to feel hard at some time or another, right? Life is hard. But overall, we get to choose which hard we participate in, right? So living paycheck to paycheck, feeling like you're not moving ahead with your goals, that's hard. But, maybe like learning how money works, maybe that feels hard. Each one is going to be a different hard, but it's going to bring you to different places in your life.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Okay. I love that you talked about that, and I love that you brought that up, because I think there's, like I said, so many people think that just by making six figures, it's going to change everything for you. But again, look at how many, lottery winners or pro athletes go broke, because amassing more of something doesn't simply make it easier for you to manage if you weren't managing it the way you wanted to before. Okay, Sunjam, why don't you tell everyone, so we know you were in the situation, you're feeling like shit, you're living paycheck to paycheck, making great money, you're making 6 figures a year, but you're feeling trapped by corporate America. How did you find us, and what made you decide to apply to the program and seek financial coaching?
Yeah, so this was the point where something pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I really needed that. And that was when I moved to Canada and I started working here. In Canada, the pay structure is different, the taxes are different, and salary tiers. So suddenly I wasn't in the six-figure club anymore. And this is when my paycheck really just could not keep up with my lifestyle, and my card debt started to pile on and didn't seem to go away. And I added about more than $10,000 of consumer debt, high interest consumer debt. And no way I was able to pay it off. And I was again then falling into the same pattern. Like, okay, maybe do I need to get another higher degree so I can get a higher paying job? Or do I
Yep.
need certifications and then go through 5 rounds of interview again and get another job and maybe work like 3 times harder than I already do, to not even make that much money that I was making before? And that's when I just stopped and said, okay, that's enough. I'm not doing this. It's not working for me. So I did what most people do, and I went to TikTok for answers. so, so before, my TikTok feed was filled with like, okay, this newest like skincare product, this hyaluronic serum, or like no makeup look, and this is what you can buy. So instead of that feed, now my feed started changing to things like how can you make money in 10 minutes, or how can drop shipping and NFTs make $50,000 in your first month. And again, everything felt like a scam. So I looked through more content and I found financial coaches, and it was the same story everywhere: budget, save, invest, budget, save, invest. And at this point, like, the word budget was just so triggering for me, because
Mhm.
I'm in a place where nothing made me happy already. Like, my life is not exciting anymore. I didn't look forward to anything. Like, I feel like I compromised on my dreams and goals, and I went into this conventional job. So if there's one thing that I'm looking forward to, like one bubble tea a day, and I'm gonna be told that, okay, you can't do that anymore because you have to quit it, I was gonna lose my shit. So that was my mindset, right? Like, I worked hard to do
Yeah.
a conventional job. I sacrificed so I can stay and like make money and keep my immigration status,
Mhm.
and enjoy. Like, if I can't even do that, like, what's the point of life anymore? So after multiple rounds of scrolling through budget save invest coaches, I came across No Budget Babe, and that's when I sort of stopped and I started to dig through your TikToks, and I thought, okay, that's interesting. No Budget Babe, like, it sounds like it's not like rooted into scarcity mindset. There's something that I can do about my life without limiting myself to things that I enjoy or things I want to do. So one video that you posted really stuck out to me, where you spoke about how we have tried the conventional way of doing things: get a degree, get a job, buy a house, and it's not working out for most of us. Like, how come we're all not millionaires yet? So I
Mhm.
was looking through TikTok, and I found the free course that you posted, one of the free workshops. It was amazing. And you talked about,
Which one did you do? Sorry.
I think it was broke to balling,
Okay, I
and
love it.
it talked about this analogy between dieting and budgeting, and
Mhm.
how these are sustainable ways to achieve your goals. And your fitness coach could put you on a paleo diet, no carb diet, and get the 3-week result for their testimonials, like before and after page. But on the,
Mhm.
like, you're gonna crash and load up on, and it's just not sustainable. So I absolutely love that analogy, and that's what got me into the program. And I didn't know if it was what the course was going to focus on, but I knew it was not a typical financial management course that just talks about like financial jargon and like gives you a fancy budget and makes you feel like you don't really belong there. I don't know anything, but I just loved your like mindset and your strategy, and the way you spoke about money and your relationship with it, and the fact that you aim to empower like women to become their own breadwinners through this course. And sadly enough, there still aren't enough women in the financial, personal finance space. So I'm so glad I found you, and you like sort of normalize it for us women everywhere in all walks of life. And because we have a record of not sitting at the table for money talks, not laughing and discussing talks and real estate, while the men are in the kitchen making dinner or whatever. So
Mhm.
historically, I've seen that. I haven't seen that in school. I haven't seen that at home. Clearly, there's a reason why they keep that from us, to keep us where we are. So I'm glad that you're teaching people, you're teaching women how to make their own money. And yeah, I absolutely loved it, and I wanted to join the course right away.
I love that. Oh, I'm so happy that we were able to have you, and I love that you brought up that we're teaching women how to be their own rich man, because I think I mean, for so many things, like you mentioned too, like, you know, growing up, a lot of us probably watched our dad at the kitchen table, going over the finances, paying the bills, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know, the mom is in the kitchen cooking and she doesn't really know what's going on or whatever it is. And a lot of us probably grew up in traditional kind of households like that. A lot of us probably grew up in situations where, I mean,